You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand Up, Sit Down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Stand Up, Sit Down.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ashford Thomas, and I'm back at it. Yes, please believe. Tonight in the booth, I got a very beautiful and talented lady, Miss Angelique Bates. You need to know this name, baby. Go ahead and introduce yourself, lady.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Angelique Bates. Nickelodeon's All That. That's probably what you remember me from.
Yeah! She's been in the game for a minute. Definitely. Very talented. Just glad to have you here on BHL today.
Thank
Black
you.
Hollywood Live. You know, our followers and everything. I hyped to have you in here today. I'm crazy today. It's Friday. My bad. You know,
Hey,
you know how it is.
It's all good. TGIF.
Definitely, lady. But we just want to go ahead and step into your story. If you could, just tell the people where you're from.
Well, like I said, everyone remembers me from Nickelodeon. You know, born and raised California. My dad.
I hear you, the Cali. You know, you gotta stay in the rec. You know what I'm saying?
My daddy's from Haiti. Rest in peace. My mom and them, they're from Chicago and Michigan. So you know, got that southness in me.
Southern, where? North Carolina here.
What's that? But yeah, I've been doing this since I was a kid. My mom put me in pretty much when I came out the womb.
Yeah.
She said I was talking early. She said I said hello or something. Like I was like, okay, whatever.
That's a sign.
Right,
Well,
you know,
she
right.
catch it on.
Right. So she put me in. I did a Borax ad. That was my first nude job. You know, I was a baby in my with detergent around me or something. And she just kept on putting me in it because she used to model and sing. So like I looked just like my mom. So just imagine me and like my mom.
So your mama fine too?
Yeah.
There you go. Running in the family.
Yeah. So yeah, got that Indian in us. But
Definitely.
But yes, I've been doing it since I was a kid. I started doing a lot of theater. I went from Theater Rascals to Amazing Grace, which was Wendy Raquel Robinson's acting troupe, which, hey, Wendy.
Yeah, Howard alum. I went to Howard as well. Howard alum, definitely.
Right. See, so yeah, so I had all that experience. My mom made sure I stayed trained, and which ended up pretty much gearing me up for Nickelodeon because I did talent shows and everything. That's how I pretty much got discovered.
Definitely. Do you actually remember the audition you had?
Oh my God.
For all that?
I remember pieces of it. First of all, I remember it was long. I thought I didn't get the job, to be quite honest. Most auditions are normally you go in and you get the call back and then they want you.
Yeah, you know or you don't. Yeah, you know what it is.
This went about a couple months. Yeah, because it was nationwide. They had a number. I think they had like, I forget what the original number was, but they decided to add on 2 more. You know, so they wanted the lucky number. Yeah. And it was funny because technically I was up for 2 roles at the time. My agent's probably going to get me for this. But I was up for a lead in a movie. I don't know if the movie ever got released or whatever, but I was up for the lead. So I was dressed as this hood girl. So, you know, I had like the hoodie and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
For Nickelodeon, I was doing characters. So one of the characters that they booked me for was Urkel. So I was dressed with the, you know, the suspenders, the glasses, everything. Completely 2 different characters.
Yeah.
Well, because I had auditions and callbacks going back and forth, he ended up getting confused with the callback that was for the movie where I was supposed to be the ghetto girl. And I went in front of the director, the writers, and everything. Like I was at the final audition dressed as Urkel. And when they called me in, they looked horrified because they had been like pumping me up like this girl's great, and I come in dressed as Urkel and not like this kid that's struggling, and I'm like, oh my God. But I'm so silly. I'm like, you guys look like the same people from that other audition.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so the girl's crazy now too.
Yeah.
And when I walked in, my mouth was just like, oh my God, this is the audition.
Yeah.
And so I tried to explain it, and they were just like, oh, but you know, they couldn't visualize Urkel being this hood girl, you know, that's going through hard times. Her grandmother just died. So needless to say, I didn't get that one, but I got all that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So that's a blessing right there to definitely come up at a very young age and everything. So
oh God, yes.
Definitely. So you say you knew at a very early age where you just went comedic and telling jokes and just doing characters and all that good stuff?
I was always doing like the little corny knock jokes or whatever. You know, I thought they were funny. My family would laugh. You know how we all lie to our children.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, baby.
Go ahead. Don't do it anymore. You know, I was like always putting slime on doors and stuff and like doing the whoopee cushion and all kinds of stuff. So, and I love to sing.
And back in the days, kids don't remember, you could buy slime.
Yes.
And like, so it just
Right.
agree stuff. Just
I'm glad you said that because they're probably like, what? Yeah. Because we used to have a store called Zoe's. Like, yeah. So I used to get the He-Man slime.
Yeah.
And I used to put it on the door. And my family hated it. But, you know, I got kicks out of it. So my mom was like, okay, I'm going to have you start doing certain things. She had me learning tricks. So I was like being a magician. She had me singing. You know, and I did a lot of music. Like, if I had focused with the singing, I could be like pretty much an awesome R&B singer right now. But it just wasn't something I wanted to do. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to rap.
Yeah.
So, you know, because Bone Thugs and Harmony was like my favorite in Debrat. I was like, I want to be a rapper.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom.
What you gonna do?
This is, I'm saying, it's some young viewers out there that are like, what is this? But this
Right.
was good. This was talented brothers.
Yes.
Like, now, I don't know what's really going on. Like, there's some talented cats out there, like Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar and Drake and stuff, that are great. They're great. But, like, back in the day, everyone was talented. Like, you
Yes.
knew why they had a deal. It was no
Exactly.
confusion.
Well, one thing that's different is what they don't have now is artist development.
That's true.
Artist development back then, like you couldn't. First of all, we didn't have social media. Okay, so social media was like a blessing and a curse all at once because now we're being our publicist or our agent or our manager, and like we're being hit directly by the fans.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we didn't have social media, people were actually writing letters to us, and 99% of those letters never reached it to us. It was really the casting director or production responding back or sending back these autographed pictures.
Definitely.
You know, so now we're having access and people are speaking their mind. There's no filter. And that's why
You know when it sucks.
yeah, it's
You know
like,
what they love.
it's crazy. So it's like everyone's doing it for a buck now. Like anyone's getting signed. It's no talent, and then those that are talented are being forced to do something else because they don't think that's where the money is.
Yes, especially in the music business. It's sad because it's very difficult. I think I just saw something with Aloe Black, and it was post. You know, when they put post and, you know, they put letters over people's head. Who knows if they really said it? But it was an article that just said recently, he was like, yo, my song was played over 1 billion times on Pandora. And he said, I got like 4,000 from it. And it's just like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Right.
You
I
know?
mean, well, at least he got that because a couple of friends, which I'm not going to say their name, one, he has did so many songs. He did a #1 soundtrack. I just found out like recently that he got burned because he called me and was like, yo, guess what? And I'm like, what? And he's like, I just found out I'm about to get paid out of 7 years. It just kept on like accumulating, and the check that they told me he's about to get is like, it's awesome, but he had to fight it. Like they're even low key trying to fight him on that.
Yeah.
But he has the contract, but who really keeps the contract? And unfortunately for, you know, African American in the music, like, you tell them, hey, you do this. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I got you, dog, or whatever, and you pay them, and then that's it. People weren't really doing like the paperwork and keeping it, so they weren't really expecting people to stay on it. And there's other top artists that are on the soundtrack that don't even realize that they have checks that are waiting right now.
Yeah.
So he's about to get broke off, but they weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, honestly, with Nickelodeon, we don't. Well, from the first season and second season, we get no residuals. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So how does that work with residuals and stuff? Or was that a time? Because I know back in the day, it was very difficult to get residuals. Residuals are kind of, I want to say they're new, but they are newer. And, since, you know, and especially being a child actor, I know certain rules and regulations that you can't negotiate, or, you know, you can't come in here and be like, yo,
right.
I'm 12,
but
this
is what it is.
What that
Pay
money,
me.
you know what I'm saying? And this is real talk within the business, you know?
Yeah. Well, what ended up happening was, first of all, like I said, we came from a non-social media, and there was like no cable. You know what I'm saying? Like when Nickelodeon brought us to the forefront of everybody, I think it was Clarissa Explains It All. That was like it.
You took me back.
Right,
You took me back.
She was it. She was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So cable, people didn't realize that's where cable was low key free. To be quite honest, you know, people didn't know what it was. We ended up being the #1 show, and our parents had never dealt with anything like that. We never dealt with anything like that. We just thought we were just booked a job and we were having fun.
Yeah.
Contract wise, it was so many loopholes that back then what happened back then won't happen right now.
Yeah.
Like, unless you asked for certain things, then you didn't get it.
You didn't get
but
it.
if you never did it before.
And you never knew to ask.
Right. So you wouldn't. So that was the result of us low-key from first and second season. I don't know what happened to the other seasons, but we got burnt. You know, and it was like, I think it was like Favor Nations or something that we would have had to specifically ask for. But you're thinking, you're getting like, 10 pieces of contract, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Okay,
whatever.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Especially if you don't have an attorney. But back then, who was really like going to go get an attorney paying that fee? Can you read this? You know, and like I said, if you didn't know what to ask for, you didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, now we're like icons and legends and stuff, and it's like, wow, we didn't know the show was going to do what it did. And for the fans to resurrect us pretty much, it's like we're back on now. It's like it's the reruns, but it's like we're still not getting paid from that.
It's crazy.
All.
And let me just break it down because we got a lot of younger viewers out there as well. All that was basically the original, like, teen Saturday Night Live sketch comedy that was on Nickelodeon. It was just, you know, a great thing, like something I watched all the time. Like, I used to try to be like, yo, I was in North Carolina. I was like, I ain't come to Greensboro try to find your boy.
Like, everybody was trying to be on that show.
Definitely.
And, you know, because you said that the viewers are young, too, a lot of them don't realize that there were scenes before Amanda. Like, a lot of them started tuning in with Amanda, and they think that that was it. It was like, no, there was an original cast, first season and second season, when we were in Florida. And
see, I didn't even know that. I thought everything was in California and everything.
Yeah, they moved to California. I lived out here. You know, this is where I'm from, so it would have been perfect for me. You know, third season, wouldn't have to get on a plane, but they were pretty much flying us all to Florida, and that's where we were at for the first 2 years. Well, the pilot, the first season, and the second season. So we were the OGs, and then, you know, how every group happens, you know, disperse and people leave, and then, but see, everyone only remembers it when Amanda came in. Amanda came in after me.
Yeah.
So,
because I remember it was, I've seen it, but was Nick Cannon on there too?
Nick came after me, and actually, I met Nick at an event I was hosting, and I remember him telling me, like, because he does stand up, and he was from San Diego, and
Cali Cat,
and I remember him telling me, like, hey, you know, because he was a fan of the show, and he was like, hey, you know, I might be going up for it, and he was asking me advice at the time, and I was like, yo, do it, because it works for some people and it doesn't. And him being a male, like, that was something that they really needed. Like, African American males, you didn't have a lot of African American comedian males, especially young. So I'm like, yo, do it. And then, like, 5 months later, like, he's like pulling out the Escalade, Pearl Escalade. I'm like, oh, okay. It really works for you. It didn't work for me, but
definitely. That's what's up. So after all that and all that stuff, what took place and all that stuff? So
I was working here and there. I did Boston Public. I did a couple others. I'm trying to remember. Well, I did a few.
See, very versatile. Not just only being a comedic actress, but also being able to be a serious actress as well.
Yeah, but it was hard though, because you get typecasted, and a couple of my cast members, I'm not going to say their names, but I know they got hit pretty hard because they were like comedians, and they just knew them to be goofy, and it was kind of hard for them to break out of it.
Well, I always speak on this, and I think, you know, a lot of people don't address it. We put it in public, but it's very difficult. It's difficult for women to do comedy in general and stuff, you know. It's you know, I have some I do stand up as well, and I do have some female friends that tell me everything they go through and all that stuff, and a lot of people just say, oh, you're not gonna be funny and all that stuff, and I'm just like, no, everybody has their point of view, and there's a lot of funny people out there, you know. And I think women, what it is it's because you're beautiful. It's hard to be beautiful and attractive and be funny. Just like when you see male comedians, a lot of them look weird. Like, Dave Chappelle's a weird looking dude. Kevin Hart, his joke is that he's 4 foot up. You know what I'm saying? That's his joke. That's funny. He's not just like,
you can't have Boris Kojo going up there trying to
tell a joke. It's not gonna happen, right? It's a little different. So usually it's very difficult because women, you know, to even get in front of the camera, you're beautiful. You're already going to be attractive and beautiful, and then to do comedy on that end is difficult. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, because I had a couple roadblocks with that. After the show, I actually went into Damon Wayans' comedy camp at Laugh Factory, and I was at the time, the youngest African American female to graduate and actually be paid on the Laugh Factory stage. Entertainment Tonight, which people are like, what? Entertainment Tonight was a show. It was almost like ET and all the other shows. Yeah. They came, televised it and everything. Dave Chappelle was my mentor, and Jay Moore. Right. And it was pretty awesome. I got my plaque, but at that age, I was probably 15, 16, and I was doing clean comedy, obviously. Yeah. But I did a lot of impersonations because that's what I did. And it worked. But as I'm 15, 16, I'm growing. So once you hit that 18, 19, you know, running around doing certain jokes and doing impersonations and talking about my mom and stuff, it's not going to work, you know? So
yeah, your material has to change.
Right. Yeah. And as I'm growing into a woman, I was that, because you could dress a certain way as a kid and not get judged. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, I can't still dress like a kid, but I'm growing, I'm becoming a woman, so I have to dress a certain way. But I can't dress too sexy, or the females are going to look at me crazy. Yeah. But then I can't dress dude down because then they're going to look at me crazy. Because I ran into a situation, because I was doing the Ha Ha Cafe, Laugh Factory, everything, and I would never forget this one situation where it was this, I guess, I don't know if they were doing double dates or whatever. But anyway, the guys and their girls were sitting in the front, and the guys were cracking up, just hilarious. And my mom had a debate about what to wear. And I was like, I don't want to wear a hoodie. You know, it's like, it's hot. I want to wear my little baby tee or whatever and wear some jeans. Yeah. That's what I did. Had my little hoops in. I guess I looked too cute because the girls were literally, their boyfriends are like falling out the chair, and they literally had their arms crossed just like
tight-lipped.
Yeah. And we're looking, they're right there in the front row, like, I'm not going to laugh. And I remember like, wow, like my mom was right. Yeah. And then another thing, I'm doing clean comedy. And because I'm from Nickelodeon, I've always been conscious about that. But everyone, see, from that time period, everyone was doing raunchy. Yeah. It was like, you can't do clean. But I'm like, I'm from Nickelodeon, so I can't just be out here like, eat this, do this, after you.
What do they think, you a Disney kid? Now you do raunchy? No, I'm joking.
Right?
You know,
but yeah,
shall
so
remain nameless.
Right, but that's like pretty much where I was running into, and then it just, I couldn't balance because certain people, and there was a girl, like she's hot now, but she does raunchy, and when I was leaving, she was coming in. And I mean, she's like super raunchy, but look at her now, like she's on shows, she's doing movies, that's what they wanted. But now they want clean. Yeah. And it's hard to do clean if you've been doing raunchy. Yeah. So, you know, everyone's been trying to get me to come back out. I'm probably going to start doing this stand-up again. But it was just like, that's something I ran into, and I got tired because everyone's like, if you want to make it, you have to do this, you have to do that. And people just weren't gracing it. Like I said, some people are like, she's too cute. Or, okay, she's dressed too down. It was just like, what do you do?
It's tough out there for ladies. And I really noticed that. Like, it's really tough.
And then they want to sleep with you. You get groupies.
Yeah, so, that's true. Like, I'm going to be real.
Sleep with me, and then you can do the show this night. But it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. And they got the belly that's right here. Like, hey, Miss Bates, what you doing later? What you doing later? And, you know, I was actually watching an interview with one of my favorite female comedian, some more, who does, you know, raunchy comedy and stuff. Right. But, you know, I've seen clean comedy be just as funny as well. Right. But, you know, I really touch on Samoa, because Samoa is one of the few women that I do find attractive and beautiful, and I think it's funny. Right. But she was talking about how stand-up is a art that is a lost art, where a lot of people getting on because they're getting on because of YouTube and Instagram and Vines, and it's really people just acting a fool.
Yeah, that's not stand-up.
It's not stand-up, and it's not even comedic acting, because it's a difference between, you know, you can tell within your training and things that you accomplish that it's a difference between making you laugh for 2 seconds and being on it's even a difference between being on stage for 30 minutes and being on screen for 30 minutes, like a scripted show.
Because there is no cut, all right, read it, touch up. There's none of that. When you're doing stand-up, and like you said, it's a skill. Yeah. Because first of all, you got to be real talented to be able to stand in front of an audience like that. Okay? Because you're pretty much putting yourself out there. Either they're gonna laugh at you or they're gonna heckle or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was very stressful because, first of all, you have to have timing. Yeah. Timing is everything. Some people do not have timing. Yeah. Some people think stand-up is just like going out there and making fun of the people in the audience. That's not what it is. And actually, I hate that kind of comedy, to be quite honest. I can't even do it if my life depended on it.
And you're not going to be better than D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley, he will eat
master.
you.
That's it. Like, and everyone tries to be him, and it doesn't work.
It's not gonna go.
Right, and you have to also be able to be so talented enough that even when you're getting ready to bomb, you're able to pull yourself back.
Yes.
Some people can't. And I had a situation. I mean, I had gotten too cocky because I'm young. I'm one of the youngest females getting booked here, getting booked there.
Hold on. You weren't even preparing when you go on stage. You like, yo, I'm gonna just go out there and wing it. I'm here, baby.
Pretty much, I was getting to that point, but I mean, I was doing good. But it was just like, I got too cocky, and like I said, God always brings you back down. It's like, I'm gonna humble you. Oh, that didn't humble you? Let me really humble you.
Check that.
Right. So it was a situation. It was a good showcase that night, but it was also a BT Comic View. Was looking for comedians.
Yes.
That night, so it was pretty big. Out of all the nights I want to get cocky, and I almost bombed. But I said I pulled myself back, but it was still traumatizing enough for me where I pretty much didn't touch the stage again after that. And actually, my mom brought it to my attention because she's been my biggest cheerleader. So everyone's been trying to get me to do stand-up for probably a good 7 years, or not 10. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. They're like, dude, you're funny. You're talented. Do it. Like, I have fans. Like, people want me to do it. And I was just like, nah, whatever. And one time my mom sat me down. She was like, you know why you stopped doing it? I was like, no. And she went back to it, and I remembered because the feeling of bombing and just like people looking at you and not laughing and everyone's just staring at you, it's like, it's not a feeling that you really want to feel.
Oh yeah, but you need that. You need that rock and roll. Even all the greats, they sit there and say, "Yeah, I bombed cats."
And they kept it going.
You got to keep going. Like, I was watching Chappelle like a couple of months ago. He was like in Connecticut and bombed. And this is Chappelle.
Yes. Right. So,
like, I literally don't think right now. I think honestly and truly, my top two are Chappelle and Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, yes.
So, and I'm like, yo, these cats, you got to understand, especially for these young comedians coming out, you're going to bomb, and that's what I hear a lot of people say. You got to take that lump.
Yeah, and it was one for me, I guess, about 10-year lump.
And it might have been even tougher for you because you've had success at an early age.
Yes, everybody loves me. That was my husband. Everybody loves me, you know. And so it's like, oh, y'all not loving me tonight.
Yeah.
But for y'all looking at me, and y'all not laughing, and then this is like the Comic View audition.
Yeah.
Like, I just killed it the night before. And it's like, it was just so much on the line.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was already going through that balance. Like, my mom was like my manager. So it was kind of like, don't dress too cute. And I'm like, I'm going to dress cute. So we're already having the whole wardrobe issue. And then I just almost bombed. And I'm already dealing with, oh, she's too cute. We're not going to laugh at her. Then I'm dealing, oh, she's really cute. Hey, so, if you want to be booked this night, let's go out on a date. So I was just dealing with so many politics that I was just done with it. And I was just done.
It's tough. I had a lot of guests on here, and to do stand up, and they could talk about basically the politics even the men go through about who talks to who likes who. And the guys are acting real kind of finicky, like and it's like. It's weird. It's a weird thing within the definitely in the black community of comedy and everything. But also I want to touch on, how do you feel about your material you use? Does the demographic of the room affect your material and all that stuff?
Oh my God. Yeah, it does.
Thank you, because a lot of people were like, come in here and just like, funny is funny. I'm like, no,
it's not at all. Look, stop lying.
Stop lying, because Dane Cook can kill in one room.
Bombed, okay?
Exactly.
You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, it's a lot of people on TV that let's say Dane Cook. He goes in one room, he might go to Apollo, and they be like, what?
It's not.
It's not.
Right, especially when it comes to ethnic jokes.
Yes.
Like, okay, let's perfect example. Like, okay, because I hit a lot of venues. Like I said, I did Laugh Factory. And then I also did at the racetrack over in Inglewood. I can't remember I
can imagine. Inglewood Brothers.
Right, so that's a whole different. Now, if I go in there talking about, my mom whooping me or something, like making a joke about, different things when we were growing up.
Yeah.
It's funny there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if I go to the Laugh Factory, and they're like, oh my God, that's child abuse.
Yeah, I know. Should we call someone?
Like,
should we call someone?
Are you okay? Do you need help? But I'm like, but no, it was funny a couple of minutes ago. So it's like certain things, and then when you start talking about, relationships, like how girls act and they want to be like CIAs and everything, the boyfriends, okay, the urban and the minorities, they get it.
Yeah.
But like, if you go to like Beverly Hills and do that joke, they're like,
What is that?
She sounds crazy.
I
She
don't-
sounds psycho.
Exactly.
So it definitely, you have to know your material, and some comedians don't. That's why they bomb.
Yeah.
Because they don't know when to not do it. You can't talk about Bomb Shaquita when you go to Beverly Hills. You can't talk about your food stamps when you go to Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Depending on the crowd, because sometimes they want to hear about the ignorant stuff that happens in the hood. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? But not all people are like that.
And it's a tough thing. It's a tough throw up, man, because you have people who are, you know, very animated, like a Cat Williams, and you know his following is pretty much urban and all that stuff. But you know he's a beast. He's a monster.
Right.
And, you know, you have cats like Chappelle who are very mixed, and this young cat,
Right.
Gerard Carmichael.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just saw the stand-up, and like his stand-up was I felt like I was watching, it was like kind of hippie-ish, you know what I'm saying? And he's a black cat, and you know, it was funny, but it was like, I knew, he did a special at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
And it was directed by Spike Lee. But it was just like, yo, I know if he went to another room,
Right.
Chocolate Sundays,
Right.
it wasn't gonna go. And it was very
Exactly.
interesting.
You have to know, and then like that's the ones that actually do a lot of raunchy comedy. That's why sometimes they can't balance out.
Yeah.
You know, because like you can't go to a church function or you know something that's a fundraiser for children and be like, yeah,
My neck and my back.
Right. You know, and I've seen it happen, and I'm just like sitting there like, you guys need to just even the performers singing like shoot 'em up, bang bang. I'm like, yo, this is about cancer and like you know the kids, and you up here talking about bang bang bang, throwing up West Side and all this other stuff. Like, yo, you gotta be able to know when to separate it, and that's people don't get it. And plus, you have people that aren't seasoned. They're just like, oh, okay, I need some money. Let me be a comedian. Let me be a DJ. You know, no pun intended, but let me be. Everyone wants to be a DJ now.
Yeah.
Which you know is kind of insulting because. My black brother, he's from, he's African Bambaata's son. You know what I'm saying? So we're from Zulu Nation. So, you know, that goes back to the whole.
real hip-hop.
Yes, hip hop.
Real
Real
music.
hip hop. So when you have everybody like, oh, I want to be a DJ, it's like, that's an insult.
Yeah,
You know
because you
what I'm
got
saying? It's not a
iPod
course.
DJs now. You got to be like, make this playlist, let's go kill them. You know?
That is the worst. I've seen that. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And the guy was just like, do, 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 do. And he had like cards playing off on the side. I'm like, you're not a DJ. I can do that. If that's the case, I can have my son do it, you know? But, you know, nowadays, everything is just a quick dollar.
Yeah.
And the industry is not even putting all the work that they were doing. Like I said, the artist development is gone.
Yeah.
Like they're taking these kids off the street that they know aren't skilled, like as far as the contracts and stuff. And they're like, here, do this. Here, hey, you can have a Benz. Hey, you can have a house. You can have all these females and all this liquor. And the kid is like, who's never had a thing, is like, yeah, I'm balling. And they're not knowing about those taxes. They're not knowing about, guess what happens when that one song doesn't sell anymore and you're not, you know, getting all those hits. You're about to be dropped.
Definitely.
You know?
Tell people about your musical experience and tell people, we didn't even address it, but this lady right here is so talented, so talented, comedic actor, serious actor, and also a rapper.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell the people your name and your background, how that came about. Go ahead, lady.
All right. Well, back in the day, you know, I went by Alize, but Z-A-Y, because, you know, the whole copyright issue with the drink.
Yeah.
And I don't even really like that drink, but...
Me neither.
Right.
Not that I would know.
Right, but I love it.
No.
But like I said, my mom had me doing everything. She kept me, like, I was beyond a triple threat. Like, if you threw something at me, I knew how to do it. Like I said, I was doing magician tricks and everything, you know, backflips, all this other stuff, you know. She had me singing. I was actually doing a lot of recitals. I was singing Mariah Carey songs, Whitney Houston. Like, I was hitting the notes. It kind of sucks that I didn't keep on doing it because I'm like, dang, I could have really been doing, you know, something. But I wanted to rap because I loved Debrat. I loved Bone Thugs and Harmony. My mom was real strict, so it's like I couldn't do rap in the house or anything that was cussing. She had me listening to Doris Day, Nat King Cole. So that's I can sing. So people are shocked, like they're like, oh, she actually sing, but I just don't do it. I decided to do rap because, like I said, like they were my favorite artists. I would be like sneaking, and this is back when the radio, we had like the radios from Toys R Us or whatever. I had a cassette tape player, right?
Cassette tapes.
Cassette. I just aged myself. But,
and we didn't do a definition.
Right.
Cassette tape. You
Cassette tape. And because I couldn't go buy the album,
Yeah.
I would sit there and record it off the radio and just keep on playing it back.
You had to put like little paper in there.
Yes.
Yes, what you know about
yes.
that?
Yes, because they always broke. And you're like, oh my
Yes.
gosh. And you sitting there like, okay, wait a minute. That's on my favorite song. Wait.
You put it in right quick. That's so real because like back home, late night we used to have the. That's when the new songs would come on.
Yes.
And the uncut version. And talk about Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's when the song they had with Tupac.
Tupac.
With Tupac with the gunshots. Yeah, with the gunshots. A lot of people don't know they took the gunshots out for the clean version, but I was like, yo.
Let me tell you something. I thought they used to rap like that. So when I would be away from my mama at the parties and they playing it, I'm sitting here like thinking I'm about to get down, and I'm like doing the clean version, and everyone's like, fuck, 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 and I'm like, oh,
what is that? What is it?
And they looking at me like, oh, sorry, that's a censored version. I didn't know they were doing all
Definitely.
that. Yeah, and so my mom, I'm sitting there singing like Eazy-E, police on my drawers, and I'm like 13 years old, and my mom's like, what are you singing? And I'm like, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Eazy-E, you know? So that's who I looked up to. So I used to always just do their songs over and over and over again. And because this is before I knew about music, and I'm like really thinking that they're completely rapping that fast all the way through. I'm not knowing about pause and all that stuff. Yeah, I didn't know about the cuts. So because I didn't know that, I literally trained myself to rap that fast all the way through without any breaks. So when I started hitting the studio and being on all that, I started running to all the artists, all the record labels, all the PRs and everything. And DeBrat had a PR that was from So Def, and they used to come like every year, and she actually kind of groomed me. And I owe a lot to her, because actually she ended up leaving the music industry, and then she went to work with Damon Wayans and everything. But she kept on grooming me. I was sending demos on a cassette tape that I was recording off of the karaoke. And
hustle
right. And I was mixing it. It was crazy. I used to like have multiple tapes. I would put an instrumental, then I would go do the ad libs, and then I would flip that one, put that over here, and then I would do this part, and then I would stack it. And like I was doing all this stuff at like 15, 14, and I would send it in every year. She'd be like, okay, first of all, because I sent one in without any music, she was like, okay, when you send in a demo, make sure it has music. I'm like, oh, okay. So I started doing that.
You just so hyped, just go, just send it. Gotta
So Def, like, go. Oh my God, I was like, I'm gonna be a So Def baby. But so she helped groom me, and then it got to the point where I was like in the studio, and I ended up being blessed. I had ended up working with Dragos. Dragos actually was the mastermind, one of the masterminds behind Crossroads. And so I'm like super stoked, because I'm like, oh my God, like you're like behind Bone Thugs and Harmony. And he was one of the few, actually one of the only ones that didn't give me grief in the studio. I was trying to get into the studio before that, and I was running into I actually had someone come to me who didn't know who I was, and was like, he was trying to sleep with me pretty much. Yeah. And he wanted me to start rapping like Little Kim. He was like, baby girl, you ain't gonna make it, you ain't gonna. I'm like, my show is like #1 right now, what are you talking about? But he didn't know who I was. He just thought like he was trying to make me a groupie. And because dealing with Dragos and them, he taught me pretty much the aspects of music and how it goes down. And he was like, I'll record you. And I'm like, yeah, you will record me, and I sleep with you, then you're gonna push that delete button, and there goes my whole verse. And when I said that, he was just like, oh, okay, you're not as young as you look, because a lot of people think I'm younger. So they
Light don't crack, baby.
Right, they were thinking like I was 15 and stuff at the time, and I might be like 22, and I'm like, shit, I already been there, done that. So like I already get what you're talking about. I'm not even doing that. Like one thing I've been blessed with, my mom, that she instilled a great head on my shoulders. I avoided the couch, the casting couch.
It's very real.
It is very real. And if I had did some of that stuff, I would probably be in a different place. But I wouldn't have the respect that I have right now and the longevity, because I know a lot of people that are doing it. Nothing to knock anyone's hustle. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But a lot of them aren't happy.
And believe it or not, some people have come up off of that.
Yeah, very much so.
Some people you see on TV,
I know the majority of them, and I'm like, yeah, well, I can do that. But
yes.
And I'm one of those picky ones. I'm like, well, he's not even cute though.
That's true. That's true.
But he's a billionaire. But he's not cute, girl.
He's not cute.
Girl, he's buying all of us Louise and I'm like, but he's not cute.
Yeah.
So that's always been my thing. But that's just growing up in church and not taking anything from anyone that hasn't been in church. But that was just from that time period. Yeah. That was instilled in me so much. So that's another reason why I haven't really made it, as I've been told, because I don't hang out, I don't do this, I don't go both ways with the casting directors and all this other stuff. It's just like, I have kids. Yeah. And now we are in a social media world. Thank God it wasn't around when we were growing up.
Yeah, because a lot of people be outed looking foolish.
Right, so everything happens for a reason. But yeah, this industry is, this industry is like hilarious. So yeah, Dre goes, if it wasn't for Dre, he kind of like set the bar, and he actually, he taught me how to, start producing everything. So it got to the point where I was like producing my own beats. It's like, oh, You don't want to record me? All right, hold on. Let me record myself. Let me run back into this mic and let me do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I started making my own beats and recording myself. So,
and that's how you got to go. Like I've realized, even within television, film, and also the music business, the labels, also the networks, you know, depending on which one we're talking about, have gotten kind of lazy. And it's like really like people don't understand when people are doing pilots, they're going and shooting the pilots themselves out of their own money and everything. So talk a little bit about the music, or what kind of topic you address within your music and all that good stuff.
You know what? I changed it because like I'm a different person now completely. Like, you know, like I said, I was getting big headed and everything, and you know, I had the #1 show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing stand up. Dave Chappelle's my mentor. Yeah. You know, I've gone places. I've met Alisa. I've met everybody. You can't tell me anything. You know, so like everyone loves me because that's how the industry does it. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to separate sometimes the kids from the parents, and they just try to like clothe you with all this stuff. We love you. We love you. Yes, yes, yes. Don't tell her no. Yes, yes, yes. You know, so that's what was happening. With the music, I was just pretty much rapping about whatever. So I didn't have any discretion. Like, I have some parental advisory that I know is going to get released, but whatever, you know. But I was, like I said, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and they were, like, my role models as far as music. So I'm from L.A. I'm an inner city kid. So I was rapping about stuff that was happening. I had friends getting killed, friends going to jail, you know what I'm saying? So, and actually, let me take that back. My friends weren't going to jail. I had associates going to jail.
Definitely.
Right,
Definitely.
you know, but, you know, like, I'm rapping about that stuff. I'm rapping about AK-47s because, hey, I'm trying to be like, wow.
Oh,
you know?
man.
So, you know, but I was tight. Everyone loved it. And I'm not realizing how influential my words were until I released a song. It was like Fly So High, and because I loved Linkin Park. And I did a cover. Well, yeah, I took their instrument and I rapped over it, and it was talking about my dad because, you know, my mom was a single parent, and we didn't have that kind of relationship with my dad. So I'm talking about it, but I'm talking about all the issues, and people were like, oh, my God, like that really touched me. And I'm like, okay. And they were being really affected. So I started thinking more about it, and then I had kids.
Definitely.
And when I had my kids, I had to be careful. I'm like, okay, I can't be talking about pop and doing this.
Things got to change.
You know, and I was like, wow, people are really actually listening, and they're actually acting off the music, which is why we have a problem with society right now.
That's very true.
These kids don't realize some of that. Like, what I rap about is real. If I say my lights got cut off, my lights did get cut off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it for the likes or whatever. Some of these rappers, and I did a speech to some kids, and I shocked them because I was like, you know, you guys see these rappers doing these videos, they got the bling bling, they got the girls. First of all, those girls are extras. Mm-hmm. I said, as far as that Rolls Royce or whatever, there's probably the leaser is probably right on the other side of the camera. Yeah. They never get in the car unless it's for the shot. They did not drive it off. Best believe. That jewelry, the person was right there, and they had that little briefcase ready, like, okay, and take it off and put it right here. Unless you want to have $50,000 to give to us. Yeah. And people are not thinking that. So you got these kids standing in these long lines, these sneakerheads, you know what I'm saying, dropping God knows how much money because they trying to get that latest shoe and they trying to do this, and then they don't even know like some of the hustles that us entertainers have. A lot of that stuff we get for free. Yeah. Because the company wants us to promote and market, so you buy.
And they make money.
You know?
But but we gotta wrap it up. So before we get out of here, I want you to tell everybody about your single.
Okay.
And where they can find that and everything.
All right. Well, you can check out my single "Can't Fade Me Now" on iTunes, YouTube. Just Google it, and you know, definitely support. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. I still have a MySpace, so just hit me up, Angelique Bates, and yeah.
Definitely. One more second before we get out of here. Definitely, if there's anything you can tell to a young girl out there.
Oh my gosh! You know what? Keep your head on your shoulders. Don't let anyone tell you no, and you do not have to take your clothes off.
That's real. That's real.
Definitely.
Focused. Make sure to hit this lady up, especially young ladies out there. You got any questions about the business and all that stuff? Would you be free to answer those questions? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know I always do. Just hit me in my box. I do want to say one thing. Shout out to Jazzy for doing my hair.
Yes.
And Zach for doing my makeup. Yes, girl. Yes. Thank you.
Most definitely, lady. I just want to thank you. We had a good time. Definitely time got away from us, but I greatly appreciate you coming out.
Thank
you once again. And you know where to find me. I'm Ashford JT on Instagram and Twitter. Yes. And definitely you can follow me at HowTonu, HOWTONU. Check out my show, HowTonu.com. And it's a hilarious HBCU comedy. And you can follow us on there and support the fellowship, giving the opportunity for HBCU students to have an opportunity within the entertainment business. All right? Give me a holler anytime. Once again, thank you for being here with Stand Up and Sit Down, Miss Angelique Bates. Say what's up.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, Mayhem, for making it possible.
All right. Thank you so much. See you next time. Have a great weekend. Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.